on Friday, March 9th at 7:20 p.m. One of the most shocking and twisted incidents ever recorded befell Sarah Murphy and her father. Their ordeal lasted 88 minutes. Witness these true events in real time.
A young woman descends into a state of madness as she is trapped at the lakeside house of her family. Hello there to everyone in cyberspace. I am movie critic Nick Iacobucci, as always, for RealScreenReviews.com, and our next movie review is Silent House. This horror and thriller opened on March 9th, 2012, and it stars young actors Elizabeth Olsen, Adam Trese, Eric Sheffer Stevens, and Haley Murphy. Silent House comes to us from the directing team of Chris Kentis and Laura Lau, the directors behind the thriller Open Water from 2003. This time around, they attempt to plunge the audience down the road into madness and do it in the first person. This tale tells of a girl named Sarah and her family that are trying to clean up their summer cottage after it has been vandalized. Knowing that squatters are almost always around, they soon suspect that they are not alone, and soon suspicions become realities. Now it seems the deeper we get into this story, the darker the secrets that are revealed. One of the coolest aspects of Silent House was that it was shot in the first person of Sarah's character, and because of this, the audience gets to witness firsthand the unfolding of this girl's horror and mystery. Well, people, I must admit that I was intrigued by the whole real-time issue, and I was even more engaged in the element of one continuous take. You really need bold talent to even take on a project like this, and the whole film is a compliment to the craft and technique of almost all involved. The filmmakers, as well as the actors, are really put to the test in delivering what can only be described as a filmed theatrical stage play. One continuous take allows the audience to step in and become part of the story as it unravels, and the in-your-face content of the film barely gives you time to even take a breath. Also, the cameras would likewise almost always have to be in constant motion, and just keeping them hidden would be a chore in itself. The movements of the cameramen would also just have to be as well thought out and blocked as much as the talent in front of it, and once again, that could be very, very difficult. Now, this film is not completely without music or musical effects, but they are very minimal compared to most Hollywood features. This film relies on the brilliant use of accenting everyday noises that come with an old cottage. Steps that creak and doors that squeak added a dimension to this film, and jumps and scares were also used to maximum effect. The actual use of very faint or no music at all was nerve-wracking, and the fact that this is not a bloodfest absolutely adds to the entire experience. I have often said that the best horror films are the ones that can actually happen. Misery, Psycho, and The Crazies are believable when you consider the premise of each one, and being terrorized in an isolated section of the woods isn't too far from the realm of conceivability. You could actually feel the tension in the theater rise up exactly when the filmmakers wanted it to happen, which tells me that they really had a sense of this material before they ever even set up the cameras. Silent House is almost a Hitchcockian tale from the beginning, with being trapped in this specific and secluded place. There's nowhere to go, and this killer is right there with you. The movie gets a boost from the credible and very believable performance from Elizabeth Olsen. Her portrayal is strong and defines in every way what is good about acting. She is very expressive without the convenience of dialogue, and she successfully takes you on this descension into hell right along with her. Now, there is only one real issue that I have with Silent House, and that would be the film's last 5 minutes. Just like another recent horror film, The Last Exorcism, this film simply cops out at the end instead of delivering a truly solid finish. After dishing out 80 minutes of actual suspense and thrills, it goes for this ending that is overused and convenient, to say the least. It chooses to go with an ending that has been used in at least a half a dozen mainstream movies since the year 2000, and when it came time for the movie to go pop, it just went fizzle right at the end. At 88 minutes, Silent House was tight and suspenseful throughout until the last 5 minutes. It is gripping with its point-of-view storytelling and its lack of a boisterous musical score. The feature's one main performance is definitely a strong one, and even though it is filled with silence, I thought that this movie flew by as a very fast hour and a half. I found this film to be tense and frightening, and it seemed to make a lot of scares out of very few resources. A truly great and intelligent finale would have solidified this as a truly great and memorable horror flick. Unfortunately, a lackluster finish brings this down at least one whole notch. Nick's Real Screen Review is still a highly recommended 3 stars out of 4 for Elizabeth Olsen in the solid horror thriller Silent House. And remember, people, I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you for your attention.
Please, oh God.
Who are you? Why are you doing this to us?